Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 95. Sol Standard Date. 4th of the 7th, 3267. Bjorn could see the buildings of the city cresting the horizon. Munin, do we have any sensor readings yet? Munin appeared on his HUD and shook his head. Not yet, Captain. I will notify you as soon as I detect life signs detected. 47 degrees northeast. I sent several hundred life signs below ground. Another 50 Azarian signals above them. They appear to be tunneling. Bjorn snarled. Lord Ragnarok shells into my shoulder launcher. I'm going to burn them all to a crisp. They'll have nowhere to go, he said, as he turned northeast. Bjorn was coming up on the location fast, an outlying suburb that had an evacuation bunker underneath it. He flew in at Mach speed before flipping to a feet-first approach and engaging the main thruster again. He barely managed to slow his descent, resulting in a spectacularly loud superhero landing. The ground had been scorched and cratered, dust clouded his vision. Through the dust, a handful of tentacles lashed out and smashed into him, knocking him to the ground before 3 of the Azarians came in close and lashed on with all their might. Bjorn chuckled as he heard the shoulder-mounted launcher pop out and take aim for the sky. Thunk, 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 thunk. 5 shells shot out into the air before slowly coming back down. Bjorn engaged the main thruster and the maneuvering thrusters in a bid to both get out of dodge, as well as burn off the leeches that decided he might taste good. Bjorn could see smoke from the cooking flesh covering his HUD. He laughed. Barbecued Azarian is on the menu today, Munin. Might even make some Azarian jelly and have toast for breakfast. Munin scoffed at him. Gah, that is filthy, truly, disgusting. Humans, on your left, Captain. Bjorn stopped and ripped Mjolnir off his waist before he whipped it to the left without a second of hesitation. Almost as soon as it left his hand, he heard an eldritch horror scream his last. He smiled in satisfaction as the hammer came back covered in gore. Look, Munin, we already have the Azarian jelly. Ha! He said as he heard the synthesized sigh of his AI companion. His HUD lit up as the Ragnarok shells finally impacted. By Basilisk's shiny metal ass, those are beautiful. Munin just made an exasperated groan before reading off the damage statistics. Confirmed kills on 32 Azarians. The remaining 15 are unknown status. Recommend caution. Bjorn started laughing wildly as he hunched over. You want me to exercise caution? Insanity! He yelled, as he leaped into the air and used a short burst from the thrusters to anchor himself towards the hole that the Azarians had drilled. The heat sensor started blaring as he got closer to his target, but he just grinned wider. Mjolnir in hand and electricity arcing out, he slammed into the hole, creating an electrical shockwave that travelled several meters, illuminating the waiting forces. Munin appeared in front of him. Captain, we have multiple contacts above. They are coming from orbit. They were out of my sensor range. You only have a couple of minutes to dispatch these before they get reinforced. Bjorn responded by sending out Mjolnir straight into the face of a stunned Azarian. He dashed forward and called the hammer back, using the momentum to swing into the underside of another Azarian. He darted behind himself, setting it to discharge all of its built-up electrical charges, while he engaged both of his Hell Sabers and leaped straight into a group of the Azarians swinging wildly and laughing like a kid on Christmas morning. The Azarians were screeching wildly as he sliced through them like a hot knife through butter. The Azarian furthest away grabbed some bundles of the concrete and rebar that had fallen into the small space, started to use them as a hammer to smash into the face of the mech. Bjorn blinked in surprise, as his HUD suddenly developed a blind spot as the Azarian got a lucky hit on one of the hidden external cameras. He turned to that Azarian and swung his hand across to the side. A second later, Mjolnir smashed into his side, killing it instantly. He turned back to the other side of the tunnel that he'd blocked off with Mjolnir's lightning, only to see several scorched Azarians crawling their way out of the passage while their bodies convulsed. Bjorn dashed into them and called Mjolnir back as he smashed through their slowed bodies with ease. With the 15 eliminated, Bjorn stood there and took a deep breath as he took in the surrounding scene of gore before walking back to the hole that made the entrance. He stared up at the oncoming horde and giggled. Oh, that's a lot. Guess it's time to break out the fun guns. Munin chimed in. The 25mm Mark 52 Bushmasters? Bjorn smiled wider than ever. Got to love the classics. Each hand opened to reveal 3 barrels apiece. Bjorn started giggling like a schoolgirl as he heard each set of barrels spin up before releasing a hail of death. Ha! They might only be firing at 300 RPM, but damn do they pack a punch. I'm so fucking glad our Emperor loves the rule of cool. Ah, a man after my own heart, he said, as a single tear dripped off his face. Munin appeared in front of him again. You only brought enough ammunition for 5 minutes of continuous fire. I can fab up new rounds using the surrounding buildings, but I will have to separate from you with a tiny tonka. With that, I can make ammo rounds for you. That should keep you supplied indefinitely. Bjorn groaned. Guess I'll have to let the other raiders have fun on the close quarters side of things. I'm gonna be here a while, aren't I? Yup, Munin said, as he detached from the mech with a small thunk as it hit the ground. The nanofabricator on wheels moved to the nearest house, and Bjorn went to manually targeting on the horde of Azarians coming in from orbit. Bodies slowly dropping around him as the first wave finally fell to the ground. Dead. Commander Semenov was pacing back and forth as he waited for the notification that his ship could somehow be finished early. All he needed was the one ship, Raskalka. Have we gotten the notification yet? Raskalka sighed. No, for the 1000th time, we have not received the notification for completion. Semenov stopped pacing and slammed his fist into a nearby table. Proklamyati! They could be dying or dead already. What are the chances they will contact us with an ahead of schedule completion? We have to save the fluffies. Raskalka paused for a quick calculation. There is approximately a 13.32% chance that the Gigaforge will complete a project early. That would require either some very expedient upgrades to the software and hardware, or somebody else would have had to give up their slot. Semenov smiled. I like those odds.